You are listening to episode 9 of the Cloud Foundry Morning Edition, a podcast webcast geared at bringing you the latest news in the Cloud Foundry world. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Cloud Foundry Morning Edition, episode 9. My name is Stormy Peters, and I'm VP of Technical Evangelism at the Cloud Foundry Foundation. Once again, I'm here with some big news. First off, I'm going to start with a survey that the OpenStack.org did. They surveyed all of their users and asked them what the most popular PaaS, asked them what their favorite PaaS tool was, and guess who won? Cloud Foundry did. So awesome to see that they are sticking with open source software tools and that Cloud Foundry is meeting a lot of their needs. Then we had 2 large organizations make some news this week. The first one is CA Technologies. They have an application performance management tool, and they announced this week that it's supporting Cloud Foundry as well as Node.js and Docker. So great news to the organizations that use Cloud Foundry, Docker, and CA Technologies. Now they have more integration and more options. Other big news on the foundation side from a company is from Iron.io. Iron.io joined the Cloud Foundry Foundation this week, and they have a set of tools that do things like job queuing, scheduling, processing, and so they're bringing all of that support to Cloud Foundry. So awesome news from those 2 large organizations that have established presence in this world, in this space, bringing their tools to Cloud Foundry and to Cloud Foundry users everywhere. Then there was a couple of news like in the what you can do with Cloud Foundry type space, and I thought they were interesting, and I also thought it was interesting. I thought maybe you all as listeners might have other stories you could share with me, but I saw that Cloud Foundry could be used to deploy Apache Spark, which is kind of interesting, and I was wondering if anybody else had use cases of stateful services running on BOSH or Cloud Foundry. So if you have done something like that and you want to share, you can share live on a video and record yourself, or you can just send me an email and I'd be happy to mention it. I'd love to share more about how people are doing things. And then there was a NewsStack article on Lattice Diego that talked about being able to use. So Lattice is like a kind of like a subset of Cloud Foundry, helps you manage clusters and helps you schedule things. And they were talking about using Diego and Lattice to launch microservices, to manage your microservices, and how that's kind of like a lightweight way to manage microservices within your organization or within your application space. So that might also be interesting to you if you have a need to run microservices. And if you've done something similar, let me know again. And kind of the world's industry level news, there was a study that came out that said that the China public cloud market was going to double to $38 billion by 2020. So we know that now is the time that PaaS is growing in China. Now is the time that people are looking at Cloud Foundry. We have a lot of interest there, and that's why we're having the Cloud Foundry Summit in Asia, in Shanghai, China, in the first week of December 2nd, 3rd. And now there's been confirmation of this, but this is yet another piece of news that supports the fact that PaaS and Cloud Foundry are really going to grow in China very soon. So if that's at all in your business model or all something that would be interesting to you as an organization, take a look at the Cloud Foundry Summit in Asia and Shanghai and consider coming. It'd be a great time to meet people, learn more about what's happening there, and to meet potential clients and partners. The other thing I wanted to follow up with is I promised you a little video that I haven't done yet, but I wanted to share the definition with you. A couple of weeks ago at the Cloud Foundry Doc Sprint, we worked on like a concise way to define what is Cloud Foundry that we could all agree on. And it was kind of a fun exercise. It took a day, not all day solid, but over the course of the day we kept revisiting it. And we came up with a longer one and then a shorter tweetable one. The longer one is Cloud Foundry is an open source platform for application lifecycle automation. Deploy, monitor, recover, scale, and update your apps. Develop with your favorite cloud native application framework, then just CF push. And then we tried to work on a tweetable definition, a tweetable version of that, and we came up with Cloud Foundry is an open source platform for application lifecycle automation. Develop with your favorite cloud native application framework, then just CF push. So let me know what you think about those. Feel free to use that wording anywhere and everywhere you would like. Other things that we're working on, so that was the doc sprint. Looking now at defining looking at exploring and defining what would it mean to have a Cloud Foundry certification process for individuals, for experts. So what would it mean if you could take a class or take a test and prove your Cloud Foundry knowledge and then be able to put that on your resume, perhaps have your own website where you could talk about what you've done, that future employers could look at. What would that mean and what would that look like? And if you are interested in joining that conversation, this is an open source software project and that is an open process. So feel free to ping me and I'll invite you to the meeting. We're having a kickoff meeting tomorrow, day after tomorrow, Thursday, this week, and then it'll be an ongoing process. On that note, if you are interested in getting more involved with Cloud Foundry, we do have a Slack instance where a lot of the contributors are talking, so it's cloudfoundry.slack.com. If you have an email address that belongs to any of our member companies, you should be able to just sign up. If you don't belong to one of our member companies and would like to sign up, just ping me and I can help get you in there. And if on the note of getting involved, let's talk about meetups and events. So continue the awesome flow of meetups. We have had 30 in October so far, and we have 12 more this week. Thursday seems to be the day to have meetups. Maybe it's like a hybrid of like still in your work week, but wanting to socialize a little bit for the weekend. But Thursday night seems to be the Cloud Foundry night where things happen. I think there's like 6 or 7 on Thursday night around the world again, Asia, North America, Europe. Pick your location or try to get to all of them. And on that note, I'm trying to meet up with all the meetup organizers because I want to tell them about the speaker travel program that we have, about all the speakers who've offered to help. So I'm trying to meet all the meetup organizers. So if you've been to a meetup or if you are a meetup organizer, if you could introduce me to that organizer, that would be awesome. When I email them all through meetup.com, it thinks I'm a spammer. So I need some personal connections here. So if you can help, that would be great. So go to your local meetup, and then don't forget that the Cloud Foundry Summit is happening in Berlin next week. So I think a lot of you going from North America are flying out Friday or Saturday. Hopefully you get to celebrate your Halloween somewhere in the world. And we'll meet up with all the people in Europe and people that are coming from Asia. In Berlin, there's an unconference starting on Sunday night. So Sunday night there'll be an unconference. Sam Ramji will be there giving a sort of a workshop for speakers, and it's unconference style, so there'll be a lot of speakers there from both the summit and people that were hoping to get into the summit and couldn't, that have good things to share. Then on Monday morning, there's training. I believe there's still spots in some of the training classes, so you could still sign up if you're going to be there. And then there'll also be some special interest groups, some SIGs. So there's a financial SIG and an Internet of Things SIGs happening. So if your company is in the Internet of Things or financial space and you would like to be involved in discussions about what features you need to see in Cloud Foundry for your organization, please reach out to me and I will connect you with the groups that are putting those together with Scott. So join us this week at either your local meetup or the Cloud Foundry Summit in Berlin, or at the training, or at the unconference, or at the SIGs. I look forward to seeing you at a place near you or in Europe sometime soon. Until next week. You have been listening to the Cloud Foundry Morning Edition. Join us weekly to hear about the latest in the Cloud Foundry world. You can subscribe via YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher, and soon Google Play. So please join us again next week. Signing off from the Cloud Foundry Morning Edition.